What is going on, guys? Today we are going to talk about a very important concept here in Counter-Strike 2, something that many players, coaches, personalities, YouTubers out there are not talking about enough. That is going to be visualizing and reducing artificial stress inside of this game. I'm going to keep this video as concise as I can, give you my experience with over 15,000 hours inside of CS. I have a lot of good advice that I can give you, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Guys, through my coaching that I have done on my second channel, I have noticed a lot of players are making their life so much harder than it needs to be in many ways, right? Of course, this is going to be something that is not just with CS. In general, when we're learning a new game, a new thing at work, whatever it is for school, we're not going to be doing things as efficiently as we can. One of these things is we are not holding angles and getting info enough. I'm here on Inferno because I want to explain this concept to you. So say you are a Halls player, because this is the first time I saw this problem happening in one of my coaching sessions. What is the difference between you holding Halls here and you holding Halls here? The answer is very obvious. When you're holding Halls here, your contact point is all the way up here. So we have visualization on everything that's going on up until here. And then obviously behind us, we can assume that we have that control as well. And when we're holding here, we only have info on what's going on to this line right here. That's the only info we have. Somebody could be standing right here and we have no idea about it. Why is this important? Because a lot of times, guys, when we are looking, for solutions through stress, right? Maybe A site's about to get taken and we need to make a decision and we're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Should I drop back to pit? Should I go into Halls and do this? We sit here and we start to overthink and we don't realize that we can just make our life easy by pushing forward and taking the space. Boom. Now we realize nothing's in Halls. Now we realize, okay, or, maybe someone is there. Boom, someone's in Halls and we can at least take that fight on them, but we don't have to sit there and just make up these scenarios in our mind. And that's why I always tell players to be aggressive. And I'm going to explain to you in a bit why that's so important. But first, I have to give you a message about how to get the best Counter-Strike 2 skins in the game. Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code, KOJO. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description. All right, guys, so this aggressive problem solving and this idea of look, we're not going to artificially stress ourselves out. We are going to commit to getting the info, hold it, and then get out of there or push forward with it is going to make the stress. It's going to relieve that pressure so nicely for us, right? People do this all around the board, guys. When we're playing B on Inferno, sure, we could sit the entire round right here in a crossfire like this. Boom here and then boom here. Right? That is something we could do, right? But when we are in this crossfire, again, we have no clue, even if somebody's getting up to this line. So in the back of our head, we have to be nervous about it. We have to be ready. And that is why it is so good in our defenses and in the way we're playing, the way we're holding, is if we can constantly do things like flash into car real quick, right? Why is it so good? Why do you see pros having these little flash plays where one flashes and the other gets this info? Sure, it's to get kills. Yes, of course, we want to get kills. We want to fight people who are blind. But the most important thing is that they are getting information. They're getting this idea of where the other team is. One flash comes in here and nobody is here. That's almost as good for us as if people are here and we take those fights and we go 2 for 1 or 1 for 0, right? We'll always take that. But that info is huge because maybe this guy can then, in next level, we flash in there and maybe oh, nothing's there. And we come and flash for him and for car, right? And maybe that wasn't the best flash, but we flash for him to peek banana, then peek car. And then boom, now we really know. We run our rotate, we go to A and we win the round because we're all stacked on A. But again, this info, this release of pressure, because we're making that play, we're actually taking the space and we're like, oh, nobody's here, is everything. People are not just doing it for kills. And if you wonder why you're playing one-dimensional CS, why it seems so hard to hold these sites, it is definitely because of this. This is a huge factor. Like I said, I'm using Inferno. I'm going to bounce around here and show you all these different ways that on Inferno, but this is every single map. There's a lot of players on Mirage B site who sit there and they refuse to spot apps. They refuse to look into apps. And I'm like, man, you're just stressing yourself out because in your head, you're like, oh, somebody could be right up in near these windows and I need to get ready for this. But if you were spotting it, you'd be like, oh, okay, nobody's there, right? Because also, guys, we need to understand this when we are rotating. say the round is playing out and we're the A player and our banana player dies to maybe one dude, and you know we want to go help and we don't know what's going on, we're like, oh dude, I don't know if I should rotate. If we're playing Arch and we're just holding mid like this, where we're in a position right here, and say our teammates are back on site playing passively, I mean, man, we can rotate and we can do our thing, but the second we rotate, if there was a good lurker, he might just be chilling here, and maybe this is smoked off, maybe this is like boom, whatever. He might hear that and be like, oh shoot, okay, this guy's rotating off, boom, I'm gonna take my timing. But again, we're opening ourselves up to this because of our refusal to play in these aggressive spots or have that information before we rotate. Now, I'm not saying you have to swing brackets, you have to swing banana constantly and do this, but it just reiterates the fact that we are going to feel much more uncomfortable when we don't have that control. And that's why it is so important to have these retakes and to have space around the map in some sort of way. Now, in general, on Inferno, the way that's going to look is if you're playing a team that is heavily trying to take banana control, well, one, the B players might call an A player over here to retake in the mid round, but that opens us up for more aggression into halls and more aggression into brackets because the T's are using more of their resources to take banana. Vice versa, if we're the CT side and they are not really touching banana as much, but they are heavily fighting to take brackets and take this space, well, man, early on in the round, we should be doing everything we can to take this banana space and have this control. Because again, this is why pro teams do it. They will have one guy sit here on B, you know, sometimes the opper, right? And they'll get into their setup. They'll have the opper sit here. Boom, he takes his shot, but he stacks 1 and 4 go towards A. Why? Because again, this information, he knows that if they're going to go B, they have to be all the way here before they get there and start making their play. I wish I could, you know, teach as many people this concept as possible, man. So like share this with your friends because it is really something on the micro and macro level that matters so much. And it's why when I am in positions and I think that like, oh, like I want to rotate or do something, I sometimes will just take the risk and be like, okay, bracket is clean. And I'm calming that to my teammates. Bracket is clean, guys. Bracket's clean. Nobody's going to lurk here. If they're here, they are behind this wall now. So it's just such an important concept across the board. You know, and it really does reduce that stress because again, I'm going to loop back to the beginning of this video. Man, it hurt me so bad when I was coaching someone. And I think I told you guys wrong. They weren't even holding this. They were right here holding this angle, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? But again, they were stressing themselves out so much because they were like certain somebody was going to peek them in halls when there was no sign of that, no pressure, nothing. And then they ended up getting shot in the side of the head because they were so tunnel vision on this one area from the stress that they were created. If they had just been confident enough like 15 seconds prior to go in here clear, oh, okay, no, nothing's there, and either push through or drop down and made their play to hold the other parts of the map where they're exposed to. So man, relieve that artificial stress, guys. Relieve the artificial stress. If it really is like, you know, something you're concerned about, figure out ways to problem solve and actually either take space off of that, take the fights, get flashed in, smoke people off, do that kind of thing, but problem solve. Don't sit there and just get eaten alive by all of the things that could be happening. Is somebody here? You know, are they about to exit out of halls? Are they doing this? It's brutal to start thinking like that. So be aggressive, make your plays, and you're gonna win. So we're gonna stop stressing ourselves out. But guys, I'm gonna be stressing myself out over the next days because I need to pre-record a lot of content for you. So if you see this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, give me some comments, give me some suggestions on what you would like to see across this channel, and I will try my best to get to that. So appreciate all of you. Go ahead and check out the coaching channel for daily uploads. There's going to be uploads every other day on this channel over the course of February and the remainder of January. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all later. Peace out. Peace out.